Welcome back to the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page. What a sensational game of darts we've just seen. Michael van Gerwen averages 105.91 to beat Luke Littler 6-5. Littler averages 113.91. Van Gerwen through to the semi-final. 7-time Premier League winner has just beaten the defending champion in his opening game of 2015. Still to come, Nathan Aspinall against Luke Humphries. Mark Wilson with Laura Turner. Laura, what a game of darts that was.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things, isn't it? You kind of, you've knocked in at 113 average. It's kind of one of those averages that you think is almost a given to win. But we did say it earlier on tonight, Michael van Gerwen was going to come out hungry. He was going to come out and be dangerous, and he proved that point very well indeed. It was narrow, it was tight, but it was exciting, and they both played exceptional.
Yeah, they did. Chris Dobey already through, beat Gerwyn Price 6-4. Rob Cross beat Stephen Bunting 6-4, and Michael van Gerwen through to the semi-finals. He will take on the winner of Nathan Aspinall and Luke Humphries.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the players. A former Premier League finalist. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the UK Open and US Darts Masters. The winner of the World Match Play. It's the Nathan
Well, one of the iconic darts walk-ons now, Nathan Aspinall makes his way in front of a packed house at the SSE Arena in Belfast. The pyrotechnics go off. But Nathan Aspinall could do with some darting pyrotechnics of his own. He needs to get winning, and winning quickly. Luke Humphries, the world #1, stands in his way. They sort of right ding-dong battle over in Bahrain in the World Series of Darts. And Aspinall, to many, a controversial inclusion in the Premier League, but he's here and he's determined to thrill the crowds, but he'll want to get off to a winning start.
Yeah, what a challenge he's got in front of him with the world #1, as you mentioned, the former world champion in Luke Humphries. It's not an easy task, but none of these games will be. I will say for Nathan Aspinall, he looked in patches quite good at the Masters recently. He averaged over 103 in beating Andrew Gilding in his opening match. He made it through to the quarterfinals. Very well documented that he has struggled with injury and he has struggled with his throw. However, he's a fighter, he's fighting through it, and he's really working both on and off the hockey to overcome the problems that he's having. But I agree with you, I think it's really imperative for him to get a good start.
Yeah, well, he's leading the crowd in song, nods his approval at the efforts of the Belfast crowd. The world #1, Luke Humphries, will be singing along at the end of the walk-on, I'm sure, as he awaits to come on. 5th campaign in the Premier League for the Asp. And he's determined to enjoy every second of it up there on that stage. But can he make it through to the semi-finals? Michael van Gerwen waits, the winner of this tie. Well, it's a resume that just seems to get longer and longer every time we hear it. The newly crowned Masters champion, the latest title to add to the Roll of Honour for Luke Humphries. Premier League runner-up last year. Almost incredible to think, Laura Turner, this is only his 2nd campaign in the Premier League.
Yeah, when we were talking about it earlier, and there are just some stats that still kind of just blow your mind slightly, and that is most definitely one of them. Luke he wasn't involved the year before, and I think he felt he should have been, but what Luke did And what a lot of other players should take some heart from is he really dug his heels in, he dug in deep. He then went on, obviously picked up the World Grand Prix, the Grand Slam of darts, onto the World Championships, and hasn't looked back ever since. And as you mentioned, runner-up in the event on debut last year and back for a second try this time round, but he's in such a good place.
Certainly is. Saw Johnny Clayton in that last set shootout, didn't he, at Milton Keynes? It's interesting, the disappointment for players that have missed out. Johnny Clayton was one thought by a lot of people maybe would have got into the Premier League. Goes away, gets to the final of a major tournament, answers back with his darts rather than maybe complaining about it in public.
Yeah, and I think that's the right way to do it. You've got to let your darts do the talking. You've got to show why you should be included in the next edition of the event, and the only way you can genuinely do it is by proving what you do up on the big stages, up on the oche. As I mentioned just a minute ago, that's exactly what Luke Humphries did, and that was exactly why he's back again.
Yeah, I think time, feeling sorry for yourself, is time wasted in the world of darts these days. You stand still, in effect you're going backwards. Luke Humphries, 29 years of age, multiple major title winner, former champion of the world. Many people wondered how he would respond to losing his crown. Would there be a bit of a downturn in his form? Well, it hasn't proved to be, has it? Aspinall, 33 years of age, from Stockport, has won titles of his own, the match play and the UK Open. He's won on the World Series of Darts, but it's been a while now, and he'll want to get wins back under his belt, and a nightly win to start off the Premier League would be a great start to his campaign.
Yeah, and if you just look back at last year's campaign, it was very much dominated by Luke Humphries, Luke Littler and Michael van Gerwen. In terms of nightly wins, there was a couple for Michael Smith, who isn't included this year. Nathan Aspinall was one of the other players to pick up a couple of titles, even through that period where he was quite openly struggling with his darts and with injury. He still is one of those players that can grind out results. He's going to need to do more of the same, and you feel he needs to do it quite early on, just to stop the noise that's going on in the background.
The problem he's got, and as was shown in the last game, this is a pretty ruthless environment, isn't it?
It really is, because even if he does get past Luke Humphries, the current world number one, he's running into Michael van Gerwen, who's just won 6-5, over Luke Littler, who produced a 113 average against him. It's not getting any easier.
No, it's not. They are the elite players in the PDC world, and they're showing tonight exactly why. Aspinall with a throw race to 6. Looking for a maximum, not quite. Last start was pulled into the treble 1, but he's down to 218. Humphries on 306. Started downstairs, but can't find a treble.
Yes, it's very interesting in terms of the way that the selection is done, but once it's done, I'm totally with you. I think you've just got to move on and focus on the next tournament. Absolutely prove why you should be in the Premier League next time, as Aspinall struggles to find a treble.
Yeah, he's on a finish, albeit a big one, of 160. Humphries is going to be on significantly less than that following that 2 treble visit. He's down to 107. Aspinall then first in.
Finds the first, narrowly misses the second treble, so now just setting up and hoping that Humphries can't convert the 107 for the opening leg.
Treble 19 hit, so now it'll be 18 for double 16 for a 107 out, and he's just inside, so a dart has been and gone. Aspinall to hold his throw, he's looking at 60.
Single 20 found for Aspinall here to hold his throw, tops the target, goes very high with the second dart. Needs to readjust, but just under the wire.
Yeah, that first dart was a mile off. Double 8 for Humphries, just misses outside, and again, what can he see of the bed? I think he's asking the same question. How am I supposed to get through there, he says. He's just going over to South Belfast to see if he can squeeze one in from there. No, he can't. That looked mission impossible.
Yeah, the lay of that second dart, very awkward for Humphries. Couldn't find a route through, but it's a let-off here for Aspinall, and it's an opportunity you feel he has to take. Just taps the wire on the outside, so double 10 still the target. Now this time inside, so up for double 5. And goes wide, and it's Humphries back again for double 8.
Yeah, multiple darts missed, but this time the world number one sticks in the double eight, and it's an early break of throw. Nathan Aspinall cannot afford too many legs like that, where he's missing 5 darts at a double, and a leg really should have won.
Yeah, absolutely. Has the opportunities when you have them, especially against someone of the calibre of Luke Humphries. And Luke Humphries notoriously is one of those players that's a slightly slower starter. Saw it in the Masters final against Johnny Clayton, goes behind, but then once he gets the bit between his teeth, he's very hard to catch. Yeah,
well, Johnny nearly got him at Milton Keynes, nearly. Just gave himself a fraction too much to do. Humphries on 2-3-3, and Aspinall, well, I thought that would have been a maximum, just clicks into the treble 5, but he's just a point in front.
2 in here for Humphries, couldn't quite squeeze in a third, but down to 93 with Aspinall back on 2-3-2, and the first start from Aspinall there goes a bit high.
Well, he's left 1-3-2, Humphries then. Treble 19, the target hits it nicely. Double 18, that's more like it from the world number one. A nice tidy leg of darts, and he leads by 2 legs to 0.
Yeah, very well taken finish there by Humphries, no hesitation. A good reply from Aspinall, kicking off the third leg with a 1-2-5. And you get the feeling, although it's an early stage, and I don't like to say things too early, this feels like a really must-win leg for Aspinall already at this early stage.
Yeah, the opening 4 games have gone down to the final few legs. This could get away from Aspinall pretty quickly unless he can stop the rot early on here. Humphries, treble 18, saves his visit, but advantage Aspinall. He's on 280, Humphries on 318.
Yeah, Aspinall was a runner-up here on debut, and last couple of years he's been unlucky. He's finished in 5th. He knows what it's like to just get to those playoff positions but miss out. He will want a strong start here, but Humphries making it really rather difficult.
Certainly is. Footballing action over on talkSPORT. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0. 1-1 on aggregate there. Carabao Cup second leg of the semi-finals as Aspinall hits a 140 to leave tops on his own throw. Humphries on 2-2-2. Over on talkSPORT 2 now. Arsenal 1-1 against Manchester City. That's in a Women's League Cup semi-final. You can listen to that over on talkSPORT 2. Right, tops for Aspinall for a first leg of the match. Clicks the bottom wire. He's not missed by a mile. Little 10 missed on the outside. A little move along the hockey. And 3 more darts have been and gone. Humphries, those only on 139. Reduced by 60. Reduced by 57. Double 11. Clinical from the world number one. Aspinall cannot hit a double to save his life. And Humphries takes out the 139.
Yeah, there was a bit of a reaction there as well from Aspinall, just looking up to the skies. I think that's one of those awkward finishes, 139. He thought he'd be back, but now Luke Humphries really is racing ahead, pins the maximum in the start of the 4th leg. Humphries now 3-0 to the good.
Yeah. I think sometimes when you're playing one-on-one sport, you start to wonder, is it going to be my night? And then you see something like that and you go, yeah, it's probably not going to be my night tonight.
That's the biggest thing with darts. It is just you. It's one of those only sports you can't defend yourself in. Even in sports like snooker, you can still play defensively. Here, it's just all attack, attack, attack. And when things start falling away, it's quite difficult to come back. And it's not been the best of starts for Nathan Aspinall.
Yeah, you are watching along on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Please remember to like and subscribe. Plenty more darting content to come with you each and every week of the Premier League as Aspinall hits a 140 to leave 170. Humphries for a 4-0 lead needs 85.
Yeah, finds the 57 and pins double 14, and it's been exceptional finishing from Luke Humphries. 93-139, backed up there. He's 4 from 8, 50% on the outer ring, but most of those misses coming in that very first leg.
Well, he missed 4, didn't he, before he hit one? So he's 4 from 4 now. Ominous, although Aspinall homes up leg 5 with a max. Humphries running for cover. Squeezes 2 treble 19s right in the top corner of the bed. Aspinall desperately looking to get his night going. Can't find a fourth perfect dart. Now he needs a treble and doesn't find one.
Aspinall there, yet not able to back up the 180, so 263 for Aspinall. Back comes Humphries, max, well, 140, threatening a maximum.
Yeah, probably rather nonchalant that last dart, wasn't it? It almost looked like he didn't care where it went, but he did, of course. He's in front, and it's another visit without a big treble from Aspinall. So Humphries has got the darts here and is closing in on a 5-0 lead, although only 81.
Yeah, just a couple of loose ones coming in from Humphries on that third dart. Something he's quite aware of. He's mentioned it himself. Just that pinpoint accuracy with the last.
Well, he's had a 139. Can he take out 146? The answer is no. So our attention will turn to Aspinall, although the setup's pretty good from Humphries. He leaves 88. Aspinall 78. Might only get one dart at it. Gets the treble, so it's 2 at double 12. And finally, Aspinall, who spreads his arms out wide as if to say, where has that been? Big smile on his face. He's got a leg on the board here.
There's a bit of disparity in the averages because of the scoring power from Luke Humphries. Humphries averaging just around 110 mark, 96 for Nathan Aspinall. Still a very good outing, but Humphries been dominant, so almost relief for Aspinall to get that leg up on the board.
Yeah, Aspinall missed multiple darts in the first and third leg that really set the tone for this match, and Humphries didn't need a second invitation. Well, this is a night where we've seen Luke Littler average over 113 and lose, so funny things can happen in these games.
Humphries back on 305, does find the treble 22nd dart of asking, backs it up with a second, but isn't on a finish, left on 165, so a chance here for Aspinall.
Yeah, he's left himself a little bit open there, Humphries, and Aspinall's hit a treble 19. He's hit 2 of them, so he's going to get a look at a 2-dart combo, 93, that we saw Humphries take out in leg 2.
65 scored to set up a ton if Humphries gets back to the Oki. 93 required for Aspinall. Just readjusting his throw. He's pulled it into treble 3, so 84 required. Finds the treble 20, so it's that double 12 target. He pinned the leg before, pins it again, and it's 4-2. Still in favour of Luke Humphries, but for Nathan Aspinall, that was a break of throw.
It was indeed, and it was a well-constructed break of throw as well. We saw Michael van Gerwen a couple of times in his game with Littler miss the initial treble and go around the houses, but got there. And, well, if he wins this leg, he's back within 1. It's 4-2, Humphries in a race to 6, but Aspinall's got the throw.
First start lands just above the treble, but Aspinall adjusting well and backs it up with 2 treble 20s. A good start on throw for Aspinall.
Well, Mace and I have often mentioned it on hashtag darts on the radio. He's a street fighter, Aspinall, isn't he? He might not always be at his best, but he'll always give you his best. He'll always give you everything he's got. It might not be enough, but he'll stand there and try and slug it out to the end. He too now is averaging over 100.
Yeah, he's really picked it up in the last couple. I think the positivity of taking a couple of clean finishes, that really turns things around for players, and it has here for Aspinall. But I agree, he is just a scrapper. He's one of those players that leaves everything out on the stage.
He needs a treble here to get him down to a finish. Is it 2 single 19s? Can't find it from 265, so he's on 207. Humphries needs a max to leave a finish, and he can't get one. So Aspinall's got a bit of time here.
Yeah, and Humphries just seems to have switched off. That strong scoring power that we saw in the opening 3 or 4 legs just seems to have deserted him slightly as Aspinall finds 2 single 19s, cannot find a treble, has to settle for 57.
Yeah, down to 150. Humphries 290s in the red bit. Well, they're both on 150, but it's Aspinall who's first in. Treble 19 the target, can't find it. Will stay there, but not really anywhere near it, truth be told, and only 58. So Humphries here, 150 himself.
He's not adding the 150 checkout to the 139 we saw earlier. And Humphries scoring the same as Aspinall, both now on 92. Feels like a real key leg in the context of this match. If Aspinall can convert, he'll go within one of Luke Humphries.
Which way is he going to go? Treble 20, so 72 left. Is he staying there? He's going double-double and he's missed on the outside and then on the inside. So only 38 scored. Humphries same target, 92. Treble 20, Plum send a double 16. And it's a breaker throwback and Humphries leads by 5 legs to 2.
And that's one of those legs perhaps Nathan Aspinall may look back on. Neither were really showing their best scoring power, and it was an opportunity, I feel, for Aspinall to hold throw, but now Humphries has the darts to take the match.
Yeah, I think when Humphries has a down period, you've got to pounce upon him, and Aspinall wasn't quite able to do that. Not done yet, but it's getting pretty close. Michael van Gerwen waits in the semi-final for Humphries should he win.
Yeah, that's the thing with these short leg formats, you just run out of time, and for Nathan Aspinall, he hasn't got much left. He needs perfection from here on in. He does find the first treble. A deflection on the second into the 20. Forces the switch, but finds treble 17. So down to 270.
Yeah, Humphries on throw on 3-3-2. Mark Wilson and Laura Turner with you for this one. Mace will be up for semi-final 1. That will see Chris Dobey take on Rob Cross in the opening semi-final in Belfast.
Yeah, a bit of a reach there for Nathan Aspinall. Leaves himself a 170, but Humphries will be on something better, something much better. Hits 1-2-3 to leave 75.
The big fish can't be reeled in. Comes running for cover. He's probably 3/4 of an inch too high on both his efforts there. So 75 for the match.
Yeah, fires the first and pins double 12, and it is Luke Humphries that runs out a 6-2 winner over the Nathan Aspinall. A bit of double trouble from the start for Aspinall, just opened the door for Humphries and he walked through gladly. And it will be Luke Humphries who goes through to play Michael van Gerwen.
Yeah, he's doubling. Despite those missed doubles early on for Luke Humphries, after that he was pretty much perfect all the way. Gives Nathan Aspinall a bit of a pep talk as they prepare to leave the stage. We now know that our final 4 at the SSE Arena in Belfast on the opening night of the Premier League Darts. It's Chris Dobey will take on Rob Cross and Michael van Gerwen will take on Luke Humphries. When it comes to the Darts Premier League, the last thing you want is an online mishap throwing you off your game. That's when NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro steps up to the hockey. Think of it as your personal referee, keeping dodgy websites, malware and phishing scams from sneaking into your setup. It even blocks those pesky ads so you don't get distracted mid-leg. Threat Protection Pro helps you dodge bogus sites, and with a Dart Web Monitor you'll get a heads up if your personal info starts circulating in the online equivalent of the Madhouse. Among the fastest VPNs available on the market, NordVPN gives you a quick location change when you need it most. We'll be back for the semi-finals on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Later on it'll be Michael van Gerwen against Luke Humphries, but up next with Laura and Mace it'll be Chris Dobey against Rob Cross.